The Springboks have just lost RG Snyman, one of the most dangerous forwards in world rugby, and that sounds like a disaster. But what if it actually makes the Bomb Squad even more terrifying? Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any Springboks updates and deep dive breakdowns just like this. Losing Snyman should be a massive blow. He isn't just another lock, he's a game breaker who changes matches when he comes off the bench. At 2 meters tall, with serious offloading skills and the mobility of a back, he doesn't just play within the system, he bends it, creating chaos with those unexpected offloads and clever touches in contact. Now imagine you have defended for 60 minutes, your lungs are burning, your legs are gone. You're thinking, okay, we've survived the worst, and then this giant walks on fresh, looking like he's only just warming up. That's the psychological and physical shock Snyman delivers as part of the Bomb Squad. On paper, losing him hurts badly. You can't just copy and paste another player into that exact role because what he offers is so specific: height, athleticism, offload thread, lineup presence, and impact off the bench. The Springboks do have options though. Ruan Nortkia, your Ronald Kia equivalent in the transcript, has been earmarked as a technical, specialist lineout lock, the kind of player you groom for set-piece dominance. He gives you intelligence and accuracy more than chaos. He feels like the modern version of a classic lineout specialist, someone in the Matfield mold rather than a pure wrecking ball. Then there's Franco Mostert, the definition of a work rate machine. He's been in the mix for years, endlessly cleaning rucks, making tackles, chasing kicks, and doing the unseen hard yards that keep the Springboks engine running. You also have experienced options like Lude de Jager, when fit, another excellent lineout jumper and organizer, though injuries have kept him on and off the field. And of course, Eben Etzebeth, the enforcer, is back as the spiritual hammer of the pack, the guy who brings intimidation, leadership, and physical dominance in every collision. On top of that, there are players at URC and provincial level ready to push through if the coaches decide to rotate more aggressively and build depth. So depth isn't the problem. The issue is that none of these players are RG Snyman. None of them give you that exact combination of size, skill, and chaos from the bench, that feeling of, oh no, this is getting worse for the opposition the moment he jogs on. Snyman has a kind of enforcer quality, but with playmaking hands and offloads that keep moves alive when most locks would just take contact and set a ruck. Late in the game, when he comes on fresh, his physicality can completely break teams that are already hanging on by a thread. That's exactly the type of player the Bomb Squad is built around: impact, pressure, and momentum swings when the opposition is at its weakest. So how on earth could losing someone like that make the Bomb Squad scarier? This is where the Springboks are different from most teams. Other nations lose a star of that caliber and they simply get weaker. They shuffle the deck, downgrade the role, and hope to survive. The Springboks, by contrast, use injuries as a trigger to rethink combinations, adjust tactics, and sometimes come back even stronger. They don't build around one superstar. They build around a system with depth, rotation, and relentless pressure from minute 1 to minute 80. That's why they can take heavy injury blows and still stay at or near the top of world rugby. For me, that's where one name jumps out: JJ van der Mescht. At around 145 kilograms and about 2 meters tall, he is an absolutely massive physical presence, the kind of player who looks terrifying when he's charging at you full pace. He's already proved himself at a high level playing in France and now in the Premiership, showing he can handle top-flight physical rugby overseas. Most importantly, he has openly stated his desire to play for the Springboks, which means you have a hungry, motivated monster ready to step into that bomb squad. He's not someone you necessarily want on the field for the full 80 minutes at test intensity right now, but as an impact player off the bench, he makes a lot of sense. He won't replicate Snyman's offloading wizardry and link play to the same level, but he brings a different type of damage: pure collision dominance and enforcer-style rugby. Picture fresh legs, huge collisions, and repeated crash ball carries into tired defenders who have already spent an hour tackling big men. Instead of chaos through offloads, you get chaos through sheer force. Defensive lines getting bent backwards, rucks going backwards, and a scrum that suddenly feels a lot heavier. That's the key point. JJ doesn't replace Snyman like for like, he changes the profile of the threat. With him, the bomb squad becomes less about unexpected offloads and more about being physically run over. It's a different angle of attack, but still devastating if used properly. And again, this isn't just about one guy, it's about how the Springboks structure their entire squad. They've shown over and over that they don't rely solely on individual stars. They rely on layered depth, tactical flexibility, and relentless pressure across all 80 minutes. That's why they can take heavy injury blows and still stay at or near the top of World Rugby. So the real question becomes, who makes the bigger impact in that bomb squad jersey right now? JJ Mescht or someone else the coaches trust? I want you to jump into the comments and tell me, is it JJ or is there another lock or hybrid forward you think is better suited to that role? Drop the name of the player you believe should replace RG Snyman in the bomb squad and explain why you think they fit that late-game impact profile. And if you want to stay ahead of every Springboks selection twist, injury update, and tactical tweak as they build towards the next World Cup, make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon right now so you never miss a video. This team isn't just strong, it's evolving, and the scariest thing about the Springboks isn't only who they have, it's who they can still bring in when others think they're depleted. If this is what they look like when they lose a player, imagine what they'll be when they are at full strength again. I might be completely wrong and Rassie decides not to use JJ before the World Cup, but you have to admit he's a seriously tempting option for that role. There are a lot of you watching these breakdowns who haven't hit that subscribe button yet, and I genuinely appreciate everyone who does because this channel is only moving in one direction, up. Before you head out, click subscribe on one side of the screen and check out another video on the other where we dive into the insane pipeline of Springboks that's coming through right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.